And I'll tell you that former South African President Jacob Zuma says he remains a loyal member of the ruling African National Congress. He said this over the weekend where he held a media briefing in Soweto, Johannesburg. Zuma criticized the organization and announced he will not campaign with the party as it gears up for a critical election next year. He rather threw his weight behind newly registered political party uMkhonto WeSizwe, the name of the ANC's military wing, saying it will vote for it during next year's national election. In a statement read by his daughter, Dudu Zuma, he highlighted social problems and divisions in South Africa, which for some have never gone away. News Central's Bongani Siziba was at the briefing.
The former president.
And now to discuss this, we're being joined by Dr. Herman Berhane Odbamichael, political analyst and head of journalism program at Cape Peninsula University of Technology, South Africa. Thank you so much, Dr. Odbamichael, for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
For you, what are the primary factors or grievances that prompted former South African President Jacob Zuma to publicly criticize the ANC and refrain from campaigning for the party in the upcoming critical elections, opting instead to support the newly registered political party?
Well, I believe that he's vindicating himself. The former president Jacob Zuma, he's been a member of the ANC since 1958. Remember, he was born only in 1942, so at his young age, the last 62 years or more, he has been part of the struggle. And you know that he also spent 10 years in prison in Robben Island. When he was 21 years, he was convicted of, trying to overthrow the apartheid government. And for 10 years, he hasn't even been visited by his mother. She was a domestic worker. So what I'm saying is, it is a bit personal, so he feels that all these up and downs that he went to prison. Yes, I mean, he was accused of corruption, but he believes that the current President Cyril Ramaphosa and some of his comrades have betrayed him. So it looks like then he is, and it's, he chose also the time when it is a second 62 years since the uMkhonto WeSizwe was, started. So those are the things. I think he feels that he hasn't been happy with his comrades, so he's trying to.
Dr. Odbamichael, a school of thought believes or thinks that Jacob Zuma's statement marks of hypocrisy. Why? They said that he says he remains a loyal member of the party. And in the same breath, he's saying that he's throwing his weight behind a newly constituted or registered political party, which might just, in a way, affect the political stance or pedigree of the ANC in the coming elections. What do you make of that stance? How do you even think the ANC will accept this particular statement that he has made when some people feel what he should have done was to use his influence to try as much as possible to correct the wrongs in the party rather than publicly criticize the party?
It's very paradoxical, as you have said. I mean, uMkhonto WeSizwe was part of the ANC paramilitary wing, and it's a bit paradoxical. It's very conflicting, the fact that he said that he still remains part of the ANC, but now he is trying to align himself with this new political party, the MK party, from previous veterans. And that's why also the Secretary General of the ANC, Fikile Mbalula, is trying to take a legal action. He believes that President Zuma, former President Zuma, is hijacking actually the name. He believes that that is part of ANC. And even the national convener of the MK, Dan Hato himself also is trying to, he escaped an attack on him, believing that he is misleading the public. But it's a political situation, you know, it's a political decision that former President Jacob Zuma is taking against not the ANC per se, but it could be also against the president. He believes that the president is a puppet of the, according to him, white monopoly capitalist. So he's scoring some political points indeed.
So before I let you go, Michael, do you think that would have any effect on the ANC in the coming elections? Because some people have said that the former president, Jacob Zuma, does not really have the political influence to channel any cause against the ANC, that it does not have the political might to help any other political party to win in South Africa, owing to how his own administration panned out, an administration that was said to have been fraught with irregularities, cases of state capture and all that. Do you think the ANC would be affected?
Of course, you know, the ANC could only garner less than 50% of votes according to the national polls. So you have to also know that some smaller parties are forming coalition. I think there were about 7 opposition parties in Gauteng where they were trying to unseat the ANC sometime this year. And this will be also a very good advantage for the Democratic Alliance, the main opposition, also Economic Freedom Party, EFF. So, of course, the ANC, you know, needs maybe to form a coalition to garner more votes. Otherwise, it looks like, especially with this President Zuma's action against the ANC, it will be very troublesome for President
Okay,
Cyril
Doctor.
Ramaphosa to garner more votes.
All right, Dr. Herman Michael, thank you so much for your contribution.
Thanks for having me.